folks. This is Jean Tiberio, and I'm a nutritionist and a wellness coach. Welcome to Healing Outside the Box. Today is episode 187, and I'm calling it Berries Are Very Good for You. Now, considering that we're in the middle of a heat wave, it's 94 in Massachusetts today, I'm going to go lightly frolicking through the literature and just talk about berries. And as Phil likes to say in his show, Somebody Feed Phil, these fruits take me to my happy place. By the way, if you haven't seen Somebody Feed Phil, the Phil I'm talking about is Phil Rosenthal. He's the creator of Everybody Loves Raymond. He now has a show on Netflix. In this show, Phil goes frolicking around the world, looking for delicious food and meeting wonderful people along the way. I noticed when I Googled Phil Rosenthal that people were criticizing him for being too happy. What? I'm sorry, but I think we have enough negativity in the world. If this person wants to go frolicking around the world, enjoying other people's cultures and spreading joy, who are we to stop him from doing that? Whenever I feel a little down in the dumps, I turn on the show Somebody Feed Phil and listen to an episode, and I'm immediately taken to my happy place, which is food. Now lately I've been down in the dumps because I've been getting a lot of robocalls, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So these machine ladies are calling me. I think the youngsters call it AI now. And when I say hello, thinking it's someone important or someone who loves me, I hear, "Hello, this is Sally Ann, and I want to let you know that you're on a recorded line. How are you doing today?" To which I usually say something like, "Oh, I couldn't be worse. I'm so glad you called because I really need someone to talk to. I feel so terrible." To which she says, "That's great." And then she goes on. And then I get a look from my home health aide who's holding the phone that says, "Okay, Jean, you've had your fun. We can hang up now." So much for the machine lady listening to me. But I can always turn on Somebody Feed Phil and feel so much better, like when I'm eating berries. So let's talk about why you might want to eat berries, in addition to the obvious reason, which is their yumminess. There are actually several reasons, so I'm going to list them off, since I noticed that people like lists. The internet is full of lists, so I'm going to go with that. Now, blueberries are considered generally to be the best berry, but the benefits are usually followed closely by the other berries, such as blackberries, strawberries, cranberries, raspberries, cherries, etc. So here are the benefits. Number 1, all berries are low in calories. There's about 50 calories in a cup of strawberries, maybe about 60 calories in a cup of blueberries. Now I say about because there's no exact measurement of berries, as you can imagine. If they're big, they get crammed in tighter. But in general, berries are among the least calorically dense foods that exist in the world. And that's what you want in the summer. Now, I can't usually resist telling you this, so I'm going to say it again. A calorie, by definition, is heat energy. 1 calorie raises 1 milliliter, or some people say 1 cc, of water 1 degree centigrade. More calories mean that your body will heat up faster when it gets digested. Obviously, using berries for dessert will help if you want to lose weight. Number 2, all berries are high in fiber. A cup of blueberries has about 4 grams of fiber. That's pretty good. Also, many of the berries have about 85% water. Although it's not a berry, watermelon is about 95% water. And all of this is good because high water foods contribute to hydrating you in the summer, in addition to the obvious yumminess. Number 3, berries are a good source of vitamins. Vitamin C, that's a given. Blueberries have about 25% of the RDA for vitamin C in a cup. They also have 36% of the RDA for vitamin K in 1 cup. And berries are a good source of potassium and manganese. Both are very important minerals. Number 4, berries are potent antioxidants. And this, in my opinion, is the most important reason to eat the berries. Now, oxidative DNA damage can be seen as part of everyday life, but we can certainly slow down the rate when we eat lots of antioxidants. You probably know this, but DNA damage due to oxidation is part of the reason why we look like we're growing older when we're growing older. Oxidative DNA damage could also be part of the reason we develop chronic diseases, like cancer and heart disease. Because berries are potent antioxidants, they help neutralize some of this free radical or oxidative DNA damage. Now, antioxidants benefit a lot of different parts of the body, so I'll be listing subcategories to this. In other words, because berries are antioxidants, they will benefit you wherever oxidation hurts you. For example, one antioxidant that is found in berries is called ellagic acid. This antioxidant helps decrease wrinkling and general skin damage caused by decades in the sun. Like I mentioned, antioxidants in berries protect against DNA damage caused by free radicals. Free radicals can damage the structure of the cell and possibly lead to things like cancer. Of all the berries, blueberries are thought to top the list when it comes to protecting against the risk of cancer. By the way, most of the antioxidants are called flavonoids. You will hear that word interchanged with antioxidants in berries. One particular group of flavonoids are called anthocyanins. You'll hear that word when people talk about antioxidants in berries. It's not necessary to memorize all these names, only to know that these compounds in fruits, especially berries, have been shown in many studies to fight the growth of cancer cells. In addition to fighting cancer, berries also help prevent the oxidation of LDL or bad cholesterol. The oxidation of the LDL cholesterol is a step in the heart disease process. In one study, a 50-gram dose of blueberries, which isn't that much, lowered LDL oxidation by 27% in these obese participants. And that was only after a period of 8 weeks. Number 5. In addition to being antioxidants, berries have anti-inflammatory properties. Now, inflammation is normally a beneficial process where cells like T cells and white blood cells come out and chemicals like histamine come out to fight infections and other threats. And this inflammation can be acute or long-term. Now, when it's an acute response, like an injury or a bug bite, it's doing beneficial things. But when it's chronic, it can hurt us. Examples are asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, and even cardiovascular disease. In the case of heart disease, there's a type of chronic inflammation that is believed to be a contributing factor to heart attacks. This chronic inflammation can set off chemicals in a process that can contribute to diabetes, heart disease, inflammatory bowel disease, and, believe it or not, obesity. The leaky gut business that I've been discussing over several past episodes will make matters worse. And organic berries will make it better. In one study, when overweight people consumed a strawberry beverage with their high-carb, high-fat meal, inflammatory markers decreased significantly over the group who consumed a beverage without strawberries. So anti-inflammatory foods are beneficial when it comes to those chronic diseases. And speaking of chronic diseases, number 6, berries help control blood sugar and improve insulin response. Now, what berries are thought to do is improve your sensitivity to insulin. And this is a huge thing because experts are now saying that we have as many as 20 to 25 million diabetics or pre-diabetics in this country. And that's a lot, folks. These studies turned out similar results with strawberries or mixed berries and, of course, blueberries. In another 6-week study, obese, insulin-resistant people who consumed a blueberry smoothie twice per day experienced greater improvements in insulin sensitivity than the group who consumed smoothies without the berries. Now, to me, that's important because they compared smoothies to smoothies. In other words, they didn't switch someone's pie or cookies for the berries. they just compared one smoothie to another smoothie with the berries. And also, 6 weeks is a very short time for anything of this significance to happen. The researchers suggest that it's the anthocyanins in berries that can have the beneficial effects on this insulin sensitivity. Number 7. Berries may lower blood pressure. This apparently may be especially true for postmenopausal women. They don't explain why, they just say this. Blueberries in particular seem to be beneficial for lowering blood pressure. If I were to guess as to why, I would say that it's probably indirectly related to weight loss, or perhaps substitution from a salty or a high-fat snack. But there might be many factors involved, because if people are losing weight for any reason, their blood pressure is probably going to come down. Number 8. Berries improve brain function, and more specifically, memory. Now, this is done in animal studies, but if they're using mammals, I don't see why the same couldn't apply for us. Researchers have discovered the antioxidants in blueberries tend to accumulate in the areas of the brain that are essential for intelligence. What type of intelligence? I don't know. We're talking about a rat after all. But if scientists are saying that it may help delay age-related decline, who are we to argue with that? What's the downside to eating berries? There actually has been many studies suggesting that oxidative stress on neurons in the brain can accelerate the brain's aging process. But it's a theory, of course, because we can't examine the brain until after we're gone. As we talked about in a previous episode, I'll see if I can find it and link it in the show notes. Neurons are lined up end to end and transmit electrical signals. Now, they did a few studies using elderly participants that were considered to be in mild cognitive decline. They gave these people blueberries and noted significant delays in their cognitive aging. Now, to measure any kind of decline, this study had to be over 6 years and included 16,000 people. There have been short-term studies that have shown promise as well. Number 9. Cranberries, and now they think blueberries, may fight off urinary tract infections. UTIs are a common problem in women, as most of us know. Physicians have been recommending cranberry juice for years for people that are susceptible to UTIs. Now we can put blueberries in this category as well. The advantage to the blueberries is that they can be eaten whole, and then you get the benefits of all those other things that I've just mentioned. The reason is still unclear, but there may be some substances called anti-adhesives that may help prevent bacteria like E. coli from adhering to the wall of the bladder. Now, they still need more work to define exactly what's going on there, but that can be good news more than likely. Number 10. Now, this is just a possible benefit, and there's been only limited studies. But this is interesting. Berries might reduce small damage to muscle cells after strenuous exercise. This is still in the may or may not be true category, so there needs to be more studies to figure out whether or not it works and why it works. So now I've given you lots of reasons to enjoy these berries. Even when they go out of season, you can buy the frozen organic berries and put them in your smoothies, or blend them and make a fruit sauce for a dessert like a sponge cake, or make muffins and add them to the muffin recipe, or get a turkey at the grocery store and make a homemade cranberry sauce instead of gravy. You get the picture. If you're looking for ideas, you can always Google recipes with berries, or you could ask your favorite nutritionist to come up with a recipe for you. Any way you look at it, berries are sweet and tasty and good for you. And let's hope we all go to our happy place when we eat them. Because as Phil would say, nothing brings people together like food. That's all I have for you today. Be well and stay tuned next week for another episode of Healing Outside the Box.